What's good, everybody? It's James Hodggreen back with another video with the Millionaire Mac Club. Yes, sir. And today we're going to be talking about the basics of money and how to get wealthy. Let's go. All right, y'all. So if we want to get wealthy, we got to know about these green things that we're spending. You know what I mean? We got to know the history behind them. So let's get educated. All right, y'all. So let's get into the first question. So the first question is, how does money get its value? So let's take a little blast in the past to 1971, way before I was born, and most of y'all that are watching that are born. And if any old heads are watching, that's okay. Everybody can learn. So basically, the U.S. used to be on this thing called the gold standard, where our money was backed up by the amount of gold that the banks had. So the amount of money had to be equivalent to the amount of gold that the banks had, right? So since President Nixon took us off the gold standard, now you may ask, how's the money valued? And there's three ways the money is valued, and let's get into them right now. Let's go. All right, so the first way that our money's valued is determined is through how much it'd be worth in foreign exchange. So basically, it's how much can $20 buy me in any other foreign country? You see the concept that I'm getting at? Number two, the demand for treasury notes. So what treasury notes are, treasury bills, notes, and bonds are fixed income investments, and those types of investments are the most safe investments because it's guaranteed by the government. But we can get into that on another time. But that's the second way our money finds its value. Number three is the foreign exchange reserve. And so what the foreign exchange reserve is how much money that other countries have of ours. So the more that they have, the lower the supply in our country is the higher the value of the dollar. All right, so now I got some fun facts for y'all. So y'all know when gas prices are going up and everything seems like it's getting more expensive? That's because the value of the dollar is decreasing. So when the value of the dollar is decreasing, the prices are raising because these companies know that they need to make their money somehow, and they know that the value of the dollar is way lower than it is before. So piggybacking off that, I got another fun fact number 2 for y'all. So in 1993, money was worth a lot more. So a dollar back in 1993 was worth $26.07. Man, think about that. Like, if I had $20 back then, man, if I had the money that I had now back then, I'd be rich. All right, so now that y'all know the basics of money, let's get into assets and liabilities. So what assets are things that cash flow money into your pocket, and liabilities are things that take money out of your pocket. Now let's look at some examples. Before we get into some examples, I'm going to give y'all 10 seconds. I want y'all to drop a comment, and I want to see how many assets and liabilities y'all can list before we talk about them. All right, let's get to it. Y'all got 10 seconds. Go. All right, time's up. Stop typing. No, can always leave a comment, and while you're leaving a comment, hit that like button, and if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe, man. So basically, like I said earlier, assets are things that put money into your pocket, and liabilities take money out of your pocket. So common conceptions are houses are assets, cars are assets, and those are the two biggest assets that people think of when they're like, oh, I have assets. So those are only assets when they're bringing money into your pocket. So most of the time for everyday people, their cars and their homes, their most valuable things to them are actually liabilities, because think about it. The way that it becomes an asset is if it's making you money. So if you're paying monthly insurance, you're putting gas in the car, or you're paying homeowner association fees, or you're paying uh uh any other fees that you need for your house, your typical fees for your houses and cars, and it's not putting more money into your pocket than you're putting into it, then that's what makes it become a liability. So some assets are businesses, websites, rental properties, cars if you list them on websites like Turo and stuff, and if you are renting out your cars and it's bringing you more money than you're putting into it. And then so now let's look on the flip side. Let's look at some liabilities. Some liabilities are taxes, debts. Oftentimes for everyday people and not smart investors are their homes, their cars. And if you really think about it, if you really think about it, for most of your young life, you're a liability on your parents because they're paying for everything for you, and until you get a job, you're not bringing money in, even though you're working hard to go make some money and eventually retire them, because that's the goal. At the Millionaire Mac Club, we want to retire our parents. But for your young life, you're really a liability because you're taking more money out of your parents' pockets than you're putting in. You see what I'm saying? Now that y'all understand the basics of assets versus liabilities, we can really get into 10 steps that will make you wealthy. So for those of you guys that are still confused on assets and liabilities, make sure you subscribe, because in future videos we're really gonna get into the details and the little nuances of assets and liabilities, because that's so important for us building wealth. But let's get into 10 steps that will help you build your wealth. Step one, you need a reason greater than you. You have to be doing this for more than just you. Whether it's your family members, your friends, you want to give back to your community, you want to give back to your church, you want to give back to your mentors. You just need some motivation, because all of the time, if you're only doing it for you, then you can't do it just by yourself. You really need backup support. So you need to be working for you and whoever your motivation is. You see what I'm saying? So number 2, you got to choose daily. And what I mean by choose daily, you have to, what this channel is going to help you with is that choose daily is basically being smart about how you're spending your money, and not just going out and buying Uber Eats every day, or buying that Herman's belt just because you want to look cool, or ordering packages off Amazon. Like, no, we're going to become smart with our money. So you have to choose daily. Number 3, you have to have a great circle. And that goes along with choose daily, because if you think about it, if you have friends that just want to blow their money, like, hey, let's go do this, let's go do that, it's going to be hard for you to be smart financially. You see what I'm saying? And you may have goals and aspirations that the people around you that don't have those goals and aspirations, and they always say you are who you hang around most. So make sure you're hanging around great people, and if you don't know where to find those great people, make sure you join our Facebook group, because we have great like-minded individuals that are on the path to something greater than they could even imagine. All right, number 4, you have to master a formula, then move on to a new one. So this is going to be something that we're going to talk really in detail about in another video, but basically what it means is pick up a skill that can help you build you as an asset, so it makes you more valuable. So like, for example, website building, or if you're an artist, learn how to do different art techniques, and then once you master that, move on to something else, because once you're building your intellectual real estate, you become more valuable and you can teach other things, and that's the biggest way to make money, is problem solving for other people. Number 5, you have to pay yourself first. So everybody, when they get a paycheck, they pay their rent, pay their insurance, pay their car note, pay their mortgage, But a lot of people, you're paying all these people, making all these other people rich, but they forget to pay themselves first. And that's the most important person. That's who you're working for, right? That's other than what we talked about in step 1, you're working for your inspirational people, right? But you're not working all these hours for the bank or for the car insurance. People know you're working hard for yourself. So make sure you're putting money aside, and you're investing into investments that will generate you passive income, and we'll get into that in future videos. That's what we're here for. Number 6, you have to be a giver. You have to be a giver. What goes around comes around. You've heard that saying before. What goes around comes around. So if you want to receive, you have to give. You have to give. Number 7, assets buy luxuries. And see how I keep repeating assets, because assets are so important in building wealth, because these are things that are making you money while you're hands off, or you were hands on for a little bit, and then now it's on autopilot. So now you're not trading your time for money, because there's only so much time that you have, so much energy that you have. So if you're putting your money to work in different systems, like stocks, companies, just bonds, like different ways to make passive income, then you're going to be seeing a lot more money. Number 8, study role models. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Just find 3 millionaires that you like, that you're really that are in your field of whatever you want to do or whatever you find interesting, and go read their books, go join their webinars if you have them, go watch their YouTube videos, and just really study them, because you don't have to reinvent their wheel. And like my mom always said to me, like, she always said this about herself, but they've been everywhere you want to go. So go study what they've done, and you don't have to adopt every single quality that they have, but just take bits and pieces, and then formulate it so it'll be perfect for you. Let's go. Number 9, if you teach, you shall receive. So once you get this knowledge, go pass it on to somebody else, because they always say, the old saying is, if you can teach it, then you really learned it. And so if you really learned about money, then you'll know the functions and how to spend it, how to make more. And that's the goal, right? To make more money. So make sure you're passing on the knowledge that you're getting. And last but not least, number 10, educate yourself. This might be the most important one, just because, like I said with the millionaires, they've been everywhere that we want to go. So go take bits and pieces, go learn from mentors, go watch interviews, go listen to podcasts, just go learn as much as you can, because I feel like, me personally, that's what I think life is all about. Life is all about experiencing things, and you can experience a lot more by talking to somebody else that experienced it, so you don't necessarily have to waste your time on some experiences that you might not like. I'm not saying that you shouldn't experience them for yourself, but I'm saying that you can learn a lot from other people. You see what I'm saying? So now that you know the basics of money, you know a little bit about assets and liabilities, and I gave you 10 broad keys on how to build wealth. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and share, because a lot more information is coming your way, and we're on our way to building generational wealth. And I love y'all. I'm so glad that you guys are watching it. You made it to the end, and like I said in my first video, like, this means so much to me, y'all. Like, I can't even explain how grateful I am to be put in the position to share the knowledge that I've been gathering, and that I'm going to continue to gather with y'all, so you guys can reach your goals. And my goal is to help as many people as I can reach their goals. So, like my grandma said, keep going and keep growing. I love y'all.